All right. Just a couple of minutes ago, my wife asked me what I was doing, and I told her, well, I asked her if she'd ever heard a little piece of music that went boom, 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 bottom. And she, of course, she had. I said, oh yeah, I've heard that lots of times. Well, this is what I've been calling the Mysterious Riff. And this is going to be a little video about what I've been able to find out about it so far. You might be able to see. I have my video player on a scene from The Wizard of Oz. I have a friend. His name is Brian, and he's not a musician, although he is a writer and a poet, and he knows a lot of stuff. So even though music isn't one of his areas of expertise, I still thought he might be able to come up with some information about this. So I made a little MP3 file that I clipped from a piece of music that I'll get to in just a few minutes, and emailed it to him and told him about it, and he came back with some good information, just like I kind of expected he would. First he told me that he thought he had heard something like that in The Wizard of Oz, where the Tin Woodman, the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow were trying to sneak into the witch's castle. And it isn't here. If you listen carefully, it's incorporated into the music. It's going to be right here. Right here. Now the guards are going to come out of the rocks behind them. Now listen. See, it was barely. It was hard to see, hard to hear, but. See, they're kind of using it in there. And I've got too many things open at once, so it's not working. See if I can get rid of that. Alright, I had to kill a couple of things there. I had too many things open all at once. But you probably could have heard it in there. Now, thanks to a recent episode of the Shellac Stack podcast, the one that was released the day before Halloween, we got a couple of really good examples of this. First, this is from 1936, I think. Forgot to put the date down, but I think this is 1936. It was a medley called "Ragging the Rag" by the Ballyhooligans, and the first song in their medley was "The Skeleton Rag," which the original Skeleton Rag does not include this little riff, but they begin their medley with this riff. And that's a very good example of it. That's how I remember hearing it, and I'm sure it was in a cartoon. Could have been a Bugs Bunny cartoon, or some old Merry Melody cartoon, maybe. I can't remember, but I'm sure it was in a cartoon somewhere. So this is a really good example. And then they just go into the Skeleton Rag after this. And then another example that was played in that same episode was from a song called "Nothing But a Nothing" by Jay Wilbur and his band from 1934. So now we're getting a little bit older. Go ahead and play it. A mouse flew in. So that was a little bit different. The two sections aren't on the same notes like it is in the Skeleton Rag by the Ballyhooligans, but it's obviously the same riff. And then, as I said before, when I was talking about the song Mysterious Mo's, it's used in that song as a recurring refrain throughout the song. When someone whistles, that's Mysterious Mo's. And they do that over and over again. And I don't have it on my computer here, and if I try to look it up, it'll probably bog everything down. But you can find it on YouTube. It's a Betty Boop cartoon that's called Mysterious Mo's, and the whole cartoon is just them singing that song, the different Betty Boop and other characters singing that song. So that was from Mysterious Mo's was from 1930, so that's even a little bit older. So it was well established as a musical trope by 1930 when Mysterious Mo's was written. So it had to start sometime before then. My friend Brian, who I mentioned, also sent me this link to toplessrobot.com, the 10 most common music cues in nerddom. And this is a really interesting post. I like all the information in this. The Oriental Riff, da 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 da. Probably heard that everywhere. Not that. That's just the Snake Charmer. Na 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 na. Let's see what else. Okay, here we go. They call it the sneaking theme or the villain theme, and this is from an old Nintendo game called Wizards and Warriors, which was like a Dungeons and Dragons game. Let's see if I can play it. Okay, and they say that this is where it has some good information. Just to quote them, while this piece became ubiquitous in cartoons, TV shows, and even video games, the exact origin of the piece is unknown. Some of the possibilities include Mysterious Burglar Music 1, which is from 1913. It's a piece by silent film composer J.S. Samechnik. I don't know how to say that name. So I'm going to go ahead and close that now. There is a person on YouTube who has... I'm going to close that too. Who has posted piano scores, like MIDI piano scores of several of Zamechnik's pieces, including a link to a PDF file of where he got these from. Sam Fox Motion Picture Music Volume 1, and it's got a bunch of stuff that this Zamechnik person wrote for silent movies. And here is the one that was mentioned in that article, Mysterious Burglar Music. The first one. There's a second one. That sounds different. And I have put it into MuseScore so we can just play it and listen to it and see what's going on with it. So I'm going to just play the whole thing. It's not very long. Simple piece in G minor, it mostly just octave unison between the soprano clef and the bass clef. And in this piece, the mysterious riff that we're talking about it doesn't really stand out all that much. But I think maybe because it builds up to that dotted half note on that diminished chord. This is a diminished chord, C sharp, E natural, G, and B flat, which you can think of as a C sharp diminished. Maybe because it builds up to that. But usually it's repeated with a little walk down, and I just kind of fixed it up over here. Added the sort of a resolution there, and then it kind of walks down and then just repeats itself. Something like that. So this is from 1913. So I think we can safely assume, because of this little bit right here, that this little piece of music is at least as old as 1913. Maybe Zemechnik came up with it himself as part of this piece, and it was somebody else just like the sound of those two measures, so he borrowed it and tweaked it a little bit and reused it. Or maybe it was already a short musical sting that was used in various places, which nobody had a copyright on it because it was too obscure and too widely used everywhere. So Zemechnik just built it into his little piece of mysterious burglar music. And now, we usually hear this if the music is going to have some kind of creepy or spooky tone, such as a skeleton rag. The other one that I mentioned, what was it? Nothing But Nothing. It's about a mouse that goes into a bat cave, and the bats see that the mouse is similar to them but not the same or something. It takes place in a bat cave, which most people would see as kind of a creepy place to be. Or it might be used when someone is trying to sneak up on someone else. And usually they're taking steps. If it's a cartoon especially, they'll be taking steps in time with those eighth notes. And then creep up a little bit faster through here where they're all together. And then creep slowly again, one step at a time here. So that's all I've been able to find out about it. With, nothing conclusive, but I think we can pretty much say that it's at least as old as 1913. It's at least 109 years old. Maybe it's older. Right now, no way to tell unless I come across a piece of music that's older than 1913 that uses this little bit of music. But that it's interesting to me. May not be interesting to anyone else, but that's what I've been able to find out about it. So thank you very much.